is a bit too much. It's just, slightly a bit exaggerating, but yeah. I see no questions are coming in, and that's cool. I know the ones who be on the Zoom session definitely will have something to ask. The chart interaction and everything as I get to go in. They might want to know why am I doing this and what's the reason behind it. Of which you already had the first session, by the way. Okay. The problem with that one is that we had to discuss this other guy's issue in terms of which hook point. How do you know it's important within the areas that you're looking at? Okay. So your ability, which is what we were sorting out, it took literally the whole entire of the first session. So this was supposed to be the second session. With the first session, I wanted to make it public on Instagram, but I wasn't on time. So given the what was I saying? These people are distracting me. But nonetheless, come back to. I don't think it's important either way. So let me just grab the time that we have already, and I make sure that we maximize it to the utmost peak. Okay. I'd left my phone because but fine here. I'm actually operating. The God would be joining us today. Sorry, big bro. See you on the next one. Most definitely. Joining us. Okay. Super Jumi. But definitely, I don't know what you catch up on the session. Yeah, I'll make sure that today, like the other days, I've been saying, I'll upload the content because now we've been doing it for private people. So I'm not gonna go there because once you start mentioning finance, people start taking you as a scammer. So I'm not gonna go there. I'm not necessarily there at this moment of time. So I'm just literally. I should actually put it here. So I'm hopping out of the live now. Okay, hopping out of the live, and yeah, you can check the bio in about like 5 minutes. Updated. That's all.
Hi, I'm Aliyah. Come on in. It's time to get to school, and we better hurry or we're going to be late. Luckily, school is right through here. Welcome to my school.
Yeah, I
Sineo.
should definitely
Confused?
find a playlist instead of playing the tracks individually. Let me choose my artist for the day. 2 Lanes. Let me go 2 Lanes. I've listened to Gibran so many times. I know he's signed 2 Lanes. Playlist. makes sense, like recording 2 days. Run is a sound that I'm familiar with.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
What's up? What happened? It's not my girlfriend. It's his girlfriend, like you mentioned.
What about you?
What happened to me? All of them have made their hair. Singing on that, talk on orgy.
Dogs. Bro. The dogs in the on the bed. Chill. But if you're in here, we'll come back to your issues with your docking, bro. I'll show you how to dock your Mac OS on the window. Yeah, but that's not now. So I see it's 5 minutes past 3. So 5 minutes to go. We're moving most definitely. Not really. Okay, time is already on our side, as we can see with the last session, anyways. I can't necessarily say we wasted time, but wasted time speaking on something that wasn't meant for the objective of the session. So because of that, now we're gonna a little bit strict with our whole entire process, because I am sure that there's no way we're gonna cover all of these within 40 minutes. There's no way. So because of that, as for me, I'm going to get everything. So this is just me showing you what I'm seeing. Every lecture, every I can't say lesson day, but every single day, as you can see, already has a drawing on it for some sort of anticipation at the end. So for that very same reason, maybe we might be quicker, but you can't just focus on covering the bigger time and all that and all the other confluences that come into it. So if the music is a bit too loud, you can't hear me properly, just shout out in the chat box and I'll see what I can do. Whether maybe something a little bit softer than this or slightly just killing the music entirely. And it'll be edited on top of the session. By the way, as you can see, this is still a rough play, as arranged as it seems from yesterday midnight, because I didn't sleep. Actually, it's today. It's not yesterday. So because of that, yeah, there's this arrangement that I have now, but this can change. Doesn't really necessarily mean because it's Sunday and it's now, and this has to stay constant. Changes anytime according to how I feel like my rating is. So yeah, that's NZD CAD. We'll come back to it if we get to it, because yeah, we might probably not even get there. So I'll just choose a few designated pairs to talk about for the day. And okay, you're not green, you're not in profits, so let's move you up. So that can go in most definitely. This one might be covered by Billy because this is Billy's pair and this behavior that we see over here. He really looked into it deeply, and there's a video that he covered. I believe he shared it within the group, guys. So if you wanna go understand why would I look for a sell without arriving at my POI or AOV? Yeah, price action being delivered, so you just have to take the message as it comes. So I see there are two messages in the chart box. The first one, agree, mute everyone. Let me see. I see some are unmuted. I did not realize, but yeah. So I'll keep my eyes and watch on that, by the way. So yeah, Billy talked about this. So if he becomes part of the session, we'll tell you about this certain trade that we're seeing, of which is all common from the higher time frames, by the way. If I'm not mistaken, if I still remember correctly, we had the same certain kind of behavior, unless this is where it really started. We're seeing it again here. So for the anticipation for the sauce to the downside day. So that's Billy's baby. So I see we have about 2 minutes to go. So I start my breakdown. Anybody who wants to take over, Quavo or Billy as the mentors will definitely do something. Okay, this is definitely going much more easier to break. You're definitely going there to after YouTube for trading your last street. You know about it just now. This session. I think 4 might be enough. Yeah, the rest will be personal. Definitely those are in the premium group. We see all of the 42 pays. But this is my template. This is Cartel's template. He's on 16. I'm on 42. A little bit too advanced, but yeah, I'm managing to keep track on everything as a whole, entirely collectively. Or NZD CAD can join because structurally where it's placed looks fine. And that's within my top. It's not necessarily 6. Before there were 6, but as time went on, they had to increase as the rating changes. So some of them might drop below as time goes on, but that's that. So look at the highlighted pairs. The rest, yeah, you just have to forget about them. There's nothing I'm gonna show you here because we won't have time. I actually have to go somewhere, by the way. So me being here for a double session, I can't go triple. So maybe somebody's gonna take care of that. Yeah, that's that. That's that. And I see 15 seconds and counting. So I might have to hop back up quick back to DXY because we're pretending as if we never talked about DXY by the way, because there are also people who are not in here before. So where are we structured? Right? Let me remove my big eyes. Remove my big eyes there. So this is what we have. If you've been following us for long enough, you know why this is there, this is there, this is there. The only new developments are within this area, of which previously we had anticipated buys from here. Okay, there were buy anticipations from here. As you can see, we had every single reason to buy. We did try, but eventually we failed because of this was like more of the signal that we're likely to play to the downside, then to the upside. Did push, left the footprint, the one that we talked about on the previous session, that it's there, but because you're not there yet, we're not going to be there. So you can clearly see these are the areas that we violated in order to leave that footprint. And yeah, that's that. If it happens that we get there, we get there. Then of course, this over here was left by this guy because these were inflection points that we were looking at some time and point. Either we turn here or we turn here, but we're still expecting it to go up as a footprint. Probably number one, I believe. No. That's footprint number two. Footprint number one is the perfect one. It's a signature move. Then footprint number two is the imperfect one. So that's that, and we had this, and we failed to perform that anyways to the upside and fulfill the area that we're looking at. So as we're going down, looking at the footprints that the market is leaving, we clearly have two here and nothing else above. This is just the noise level for me because it's coming from here, by the way. So it's just probably a volume accumulation area along with this one for the step ladder move to tap into that and move to the downside or continue moving to the upside. So that's the overall DXY structure. So now moving to the 4 hour, now that we know where we are trading from, where we are willing to position ourselves, we're not randomly going to position ourselves in the market. we have these two possible scenarios of which, again, you being part of NFP session, the pre-London, actually the pre-New York one, yeah, before 3 o'clock. You see, if you're part of that session, everything that's happening here is just like an update to you. It's not rather like something that you're not familiar with, of which at the time we hosted it, I believe we were somewhere here. Why is it telling me that that's 6A? Is this okay, that's yeah, probably from within between over here. That's when we had the session somewhere there. So the video is gonna be uploaded on YouTube, by the way. So just in case you missed it, to catch it there. And this is where everything started, where we woke up into Friday, and this was what we saw pre-London session also, and pre-NFP. And this was what Billy talked about, where we tapped into this. And yes, we are below there, where we might likely look into a flag and push to the downside and complete this, or either even come and go to the downside. But if we happen to close above, we close back above which is what it did, just that we're on the 4 hours. So this week might be a collective number of candles in order to get back there, probably two, if not more than that, because it can't be more than 4. So that's that, and that's where we had also the buy ideas at the same time, and also because there was a noise level hook point, aka which could have prompted you to sell, because you're looking at an impulse correction impulse. It's a continuation out of this, but because this is not necessarily where the big players are going to step in, it just didn't have enough volume to keep on going to the downside, either satisfying this or that. So for that very same reason, again, I'm telling you more reasons than the ones that I gave you on the previous session as to why we could have expected this to go up technically without the fundamentals, okay? I'm trying to show you that fundamentals are part of the chart, because if you were to go back and back test, I am telling you, there's no way you're going to go on every Friday of every fucking month for you to just go back and look, what did NFP do in correlation to this and that? You actually just, of which there's a lot of mistakes that you guys do with backtesting. Right? And here's the tip. Virtually play everything realistically as if you had money. Okay? It's backtesting, but you're real. Or what if you want to avoid the knocking out of time, where you elude time and emotions, do something I call live backtesting, where you're not necessarily backtesting, you are trading on the live market, but then it's called backtesting. So that's where you actually bring the real time effect, the real emotion effect, and the real financial effect. Okay, even if there's no money involved, because you are realistically virtually playing it, it's as if you have money involved in that thing. So you'd entertain it as the same way you'd entertain it if you had money. So just because you broke and you decide not to look at the chart, you're missing out on some big things for sure, most definitely. So that's that. And NFP, the data had provided that we're likely to be positive. And what I had anticipated is either we tap into this with that volume and we keep on moving to the downside, of which it likely did that. But if you were quite more aggressive, yeah, I don't know if it would have knocked you out in between the session if you had like limits or something, or either with this or something, but probably you being positioned there within the volume also again, right? You didn't predict it. It's already happening and you want to jump within it. Yeah, you're committing suicide, my guy. So because of that, that's why I'm anticipating this to continue moving to the upside to actually fill the big stepper level, because yes, this is a weak fill area over here. We have to come and fill all this area. If you know what happens when we approach our edge, because collectively, this is just the whole entire hook. This is not really there. This is just me keeping things neat as a mini double top to likely keep on pushing this to the downside, wiping out that NFP volume to accumulate more in order to move back into that level. Because at the end of the day, this is the actual area of interest where the market broke out and left that footprint. They're not necessarily that one, but it's part of it, because we looked at which one comes from where on the previous session. So that's that on DXY, right? Kind of like neutral in a sense, not really having like a clear intent direction. But a few hours into Monday, you definitely know what's going on. Are we going to do this? And maybe Monday closes above there, and we're looking for possible continuous to tap into that. Either Monday goes down and Tuesday follows it along with that, and maybe turns in and keeps on going up. It doesn't really matter where it does that, because this is where most of y'all are getting screwed, to be honest. Where you want to be in every part. Just because the move is there, it doesn't mean you have to be involved. Our coaches say this a lot. Just because a trade is there, you see it, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to take it. Okay, you look into that to find out. As simple as those words sound, I'm telling you, they're very powerful. That's one thing I'll tell you. They'll help you in order to keep you out of those unnecessary losses where you might be actually a profitable trader at the end of the day, statistically speaking. But because there are those unnecessary flukes in between, of which sometimes you even over risk because you're not fully mentally developed as a trader, you have some puzzles which just need to be added, piece puzzles which need to complete the entire thing. But you are somewhere, you understand? So that's that, and that's DXY. So at this point, I said Aussie Dollar NZD is gonna get covered by Billy because it is Billy's baby. And fun fact, everything that he said would happen happened. Not that Billy's a market maker or me or anyone who uses the way, our way, the price action way. So why am I saying price action? You can call it Falcon, you can call it Elliott, call it ICT, SMC, whatever. At the end of the day, everything is price action. Okay. So if you want to find out the whole entire entity of where these things develop from, where there are no indicators or any robots involved, yeah, you do your research, of course. So we can clearly see the intentional price action behavior between these. That's why I even put these arrows so you can see. This is slightly bigger than this, but you exactly start there and you exactly start here. You can see everything is a move per move, a push down, a push down. There was that before that you pull, you pass. There's that. There's a push up. There's a push up. There's a push down. There's a push down. But this one is quite slightly aggressive. I like this one, which was slightly equated, but you can see dead pass through just that. But then it's not aggressive as this because this had more potential to move to the downside, of which we were still displaying the same behavior. Oh, this is the one that I was looking for actually, where I said we saw this 3 times, but why am I only seeing it 2 times now? So yeah, okay, at least now I know I wasn't high. So we also had the very same entire, but this one actually arrived, of which this is what we wanted to do. What it did here, we wanted it to do there. And what it did here, we wanted to do it here. But it's an exception that we can do this here. And we take that move to the downside, which would be odd for those who are not really advanced in terms of understanding price action. Okay, so you have that as your value area, and these are the inflection points, but then why are you selling from there? And that if you don't have anybody to actually tell you the reason behind that, that's where most of your problems begin because you're gonna try and figure it out yourself. And yeah, that's like starting from point zero. Anyways, Euro CHF, an unusual top pair, by the way, but structurally where we are situated, tops. We have what we're at the bottoms of this pit over here. You can see the structural, actually the corrective approach. Although yes, you can bind it to a structural approach. I'm not really a fan of those in ways. You know that you can do that, but that's you. That's what we see on the weekly, then the daily. Of course, something pretty obvious from there. Yes, we did tap into the level. This was the sign that we're gonna come back anyway because we left the gap. So we did fill that gap. But at the same time, I'm not entirely convinced that we're going to come back again with the same concept of the gap fill, where we feel that we tap into that, we go to the downside before we actually move up, or this is just a breathing point, and it's going to keep on moving up anyways. But irrespective of that, that's the daily. 4 hour going into the 4 hour. As I said, everything is literally forecasted out, so I don't have to begin from scratch, right? So that is why we picked up from the daily. So you see, that is not there on the daily, but it looks exactly relatively the same. Can I say not on the same time frame, rather, but the same kind of like background behind it that you also have this as a hook now as you move down. Yes, this one actually it's a mid time frame. Okay, the 4 hours is actually a mid time frame. To be honest, you can execute on it. It's an exception, and at the same time you can also analyze on it. But strictly moving down or below, there are other terms and conditions. So looking at that, this is where the market closed, right? I don't really care that, there's this, or whatsoever. I'm actually looking at that because as I move down, I have to stop somewhere at some point. I have to stop this funny drawing business and say, this is what I have and this is what I'm looking at. Or which, if you look at it in hindsight, right, from where I drew it, I'm saying, okay, market close open, likely to move and tap into this mini hook. You see, these are like the lower time frame hooks that are like, yeah, that might just go over your head or just a little bit too advanced to look at. Not necessarily meaning I'm going to trade from there, but then if it happens to be something prompts me to, I might, but this is the likelihood level. Or let's just say an insurance entry here, just exactly after tapping here, in the right moment with the right momentum and price action. Insurance entry for sure to trade the last move into the run into there, because buys are validated anyways. Buys are actually triggered. Of which this one over here might just be that scale in position, the safe one that you look for instead of being involved at this point, or which from here, this is going to keep on taking off now. So long I'm going to bounce here, okay? Just because I said I do it this way doesn't mean it has to be that way. I have so many exceptions that I don't put on my chart. And then unless you talk to me, you wouldn't know what am I really expecting at this level. Yes, I might show you this only to find out that I'm actually allowing the exception that might even go there. But because you don't know and I didn't tell you about it, you're actually gonna try and sell this here. Now you say I'm a bad shit trader and I give you bad signals. And that time I didn't even give you a signal. But nonetheless, that's that. That's a possible now. Look at this. This is hook point footprint number 3, where we are far away from the edge. So yeah, that's a possible 1, 2, 3 over there. As you can see, I'm being deliberate. So don't just think I am drawing this randomly. Okay, I'm not just turning anyway either, and I'm not just drawing the structure randomly. Right? Agreed. For that specific reason, that's why I have certain levels, but they're not there. But then psychologically, I understand them. I know there's a trend line there, 1, 2, 3 touch possible there. This is more of like a middle section formation, then boom. But this can be a last move in the run, or also where the buys of this actually start, and we start moving to the upside. So those sells are likely to get invalidated for that specific reason. If you're not aware, and you're gonna get screwed. Even here again, even though this is a high key area, because you're more focused on this and you're gonna avoid the possibility of this having enough volume again to move to the upside continuously, of which don't forget, this is not its own volume. Collectively, it's carrying the whole entire structure's volume. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Other entries there, risk entry wise, because we are actually playing the insurance entry of this tap into this to the move to the upside continuously into the mess that we had anyways, to tap into that for take profits, or either that daily trade into hook might just be where the market taps into, likely pushes back. It might not even go back this far anyways. It might even come back here, now giving you a 1, 2, 3 touch structure collectively into that high risk entry trade. No, not high risk entry. No. High probability trade. It's not risky at all. It's a risky trade, but not high. Not definitely not classified as a high. So that's that. So that's what might actually happen. Of which maybe you, if you don't live here and you're probably locked somewhere here and you don't know about that, because yes, it's likely to turn here and you take it as a message that yes, we might do that because we have something that looks like we might do it and we're still finishing this volume anyways. So why not possibly tipping into a mini double bottom before we actually have weight? Price action is random, okay? As much as we can anticipate it, it's random. So as random as it is, also try to be random too, okay? So I see Billy left, so that means he's not going to be sharing anything with you guys today. You're bad. So that's that, and we'll see what happens as we get here and as we get there. Either insurance entry or insurance entry, something else. Anyways, otherwise we move. GBP NZD, nicely structured pair. As you can see, I had been anticipating from a long time. I've just been waiting. So you should also know when and where to wait and how to wait and for how long to wait. That comes with experience and also mentorship. If you don't want to go through the pain of time, right, the pain of time to find out, then yeah, you're definitely going to have to pay someone, like it or not, as broke as you might be. So that's that. So collectively on the daily, we do know that we tapped into something actually from the weekly perspective. We did tap into this over there. Just in case you're not aware of it, let me just show it because I did even reduce my list anyway. So I'm definitely going to finish this, I know, and I'm still going to have more time on top to speak. I'm definitely going to go through into more pairs than these that we're looking at. The rest will be definitely discussed with the private ones. Probably we're going to have another session later on. Or actually, we're having a session in the morning, by the way. Yes, we do have morning sessions every Monday. So to see what happened overnight, if there are any changes in terms of our forecasting, you can literally see, yes, I could have sold from here. Little Quavo actually sold from here. You saw the entry here. I don't know if he left here, but this is where he was supposed to leave because it was coming from this. Independently looking at this, this is an impulse correction, impulse, 1-2 touch, probably a lower time frame move, AFT kind of 5 minute, 50 minute, 1 hour. You enter, take profit here. Instead of there and being greedy, someone had their take profits there. Most probably if they happen to be trading this, and yeah, they just didn't lock in time to either cap anything because these are, they're not exotics, but these pairs are extremely volatile. So find out that's one candlestick is enough for 30 pips. This might just be even 100. Looking at it collectively might be small compared to other pairs, but it might be enough to give you that 10%. Of which there was a 20% I banged. Yeah, there was somewhere here. There was an entry here. If I'm not mistaken, somewhere. I don't remember. It happened a long time ago. I don't care anymore. We're not there anymore. So there's that. Now what we have, big stepper, let her move over somewhere there. There's the trend line below, but I'm not gonna put it. So this can just be a volume accumulation area, which that person who might have sold here and might be knocked out at break even is gonna try and re-enter here again because they're still stuck onto the buyers. And it actually knocks them out, accumulates them as volume again, also comes there again, also accumulates them. So I'm not really inclined on this level. This is my actual footprint at the end of the day. And that's also my other actual footprint. These other ones collectively are just noise levels for me. Yes, this is exceptional. If it happens to push down, insurance entry reflect and we push down, that's fine. We'll do that if we have to. But then this is the game plan for me. Unlike DXY, where we have to guess, this is not guessing now. This is no longer guesswork. It's waiting work, basically, because you've done the job now. So that's that. It's basically like an expanding wedge, but once you put that trend line, it passes, goes somewhere, I don't know, wherever it goes, and you're gonna wait for that, and it never comes, and it sells, and you wonder why. So that's that. GBP NZD, GBP CHF, past phase one on this on my other new 10K funded account with the Forex funder. This moved to here. I went out here, took a scale here. 10 minutes left to go. Shogut is shy. So took a scale in here into a fundamental move, slightly knocked me out, kept back down, eventually kept to hit take profit. So that would have been, yeah, it's just a systematic loss. There's nothing you can do about it. You couldn't have dodged it. And there's nothing you could have done also again to counter that. But what are we doing? We're back at that level where I happen to be knocked out. Funny. But what did we do again? Which makes me believe, yes, we're still going to go down irrespective of that we are here. And it looks like we complete. And somebody now is going to start breaking the rules now. It's not necessarily breaking the rules. The mentors do this too. But me specifically, I've never been a fan of cutting through wicks. So yeah, do it at your own risk. There's that. And this, honestly speaking, is not likely to go down that far. I deny, unless maybe if it, yes, it's accommodating in a sense that if we move up instead of going down from here, validating this move, these are the other likely possible areas. Rather than that, if it goes beyond this, yeah, it's all buys. This thing is going, it's playing above the 50%. It didn't tap into it. That's fine. Let it go. It's gone. It's actually playing a two-touch move from there. Let it go. So that's that, and 1 hour just to neaten up the drawing. So I see the other bigger drawing is a 4 hour, then the smaller one is in 1 hour. Or maybe they're both of the same time frame, just slightly larger than the other one. It's skewed and ruled. Yeah, that's that. As you can see, I actually took a risk entry here, by the way, and I paid the price for it. But again, it came back anyways. So yeah, if I happen to be a person with a wider stop than the one that I like to play, I probably would have stayed in this move before this knockout happened. This was a wait. This was a wick fill. We filled the wick. We got the entry. We entered. We got knocked out. Came back into the position and filled everything. Same thing over here. Entered on a 15-minute because although yes, that might have to be reevaluated because of where we are positioned. So position is also important in terms of where you execute and where you do everything. But this, looking at us completing that whole run to the downside, was actually a valid move. Actually, the candlestick was here at some point, and I happened to be in here, so I was in profit before the candlestick closed. At some point, I did see my blues, and my stop loss is just slightly above here, probably 10 pips. And this was the candle to knock me out. It came back into structure, then it did that. So probably if I had been a little bit conservative, of which this was conservative enough for that 10 pip, I could have stayed in, and it would have been a running trade basically from here, and we'll see what happened. Because if you waited for the 1 hour, okay, listen, if you waited for the 1 hour, that loss doesn't exist, basically. Now we're done. Golite, gold, we talked about this a lot throughout the weekend. We're still talking about it anyway. We know where we're coming from. Play the big stepper ladder move over there into the all-time highs, okay? So it's all down for this guy. So I'm not going to touch the Elliott wave theory, which tells us otherwise, that yes, we are going down, but this is not going to come here. It's likely to turn somewhere. And those who know, they know. Then there's that. And collectively, we can see that's actually a footprint that was left. So actually, the market broke out, came back down, left the footprint, and continued going up. So this is a left footprint over there. That for the breakout and leave, it was this before, but as you can see what happened and we got there. Yeah, there was a buy. Okay, there was a very structural buy. So you see how you can get to back test that. But we're on the downside anyways. 6 minutes to go. And yeah, that's why I'm stopping. You're not seeing NZD CAD. So that's gold. Because if you see NZD CAD, you know what's gonna happen on NZD USD basically. So yeah, not gonna give you that bonus to move. The rest will just keep them to myself. But if you understand, you'll also understand again, the drawing that I just did is not random. Maybe in the middle part of it, but then into where I'm trading, it's not random. Okay, anything can happen, but this is the exception. Of which this is the same thing as what's happening when Aussie dollar NZD, as we said, and we want it to happen like that. So yeah, learn to take a message, yes, let me call it a message instead of a message from the market. Okay, this thing talks to you at the end of the day. Talks to you, tells you things. Learn to build your story with the market. Learn to tell your story from scratch and to the middles and into the climax, and know how to interpret it well, because you know. And there'll be a reason why I didn't sell anyway here, and I didn't get tempted to get in here, irrespective of that way. There's that gap, but somebody got in, and they're like, "Hey!" And the worst thing that happened, and I'm telling you, the worst thing that happened to that person is that they won, and it actually went down. And they're gonna take it again next time. And guess what happens next time? And the other next time, consecutively so until they learn. So I'll keep that short and simple, and I'll leave it here. Had possibles for a head and shoulders, but that might be invalidated. But if this goes higher, which is also another exception, then we'll definitely know we'll be coming back to play that H&S because we are surpassing the left. So that's that. Yeah, if you wanna meet your mark, you have a question, you have 4 minutes and counting, or forever hold your peace. Because I just invited you into this because I do this every single day holistically. So and Sunday alone, by the way, and cartel only. So you guys, yes, I used to teach, by the way, and I stopped at some point. So cartel was the only student left out of the 35 that I used to teach that I dealt with one-on-one and so on and forth. So these sessions came about because of cartel. So I think you should be thankful to him that you're part of these, and the person who's responsible for these to happen is not even part of it at this moment speaking. So yeah, I'm not trying to be egotistic about it, guys. Come on. I hope you're not seeing it from that perspective, but I'm speaking it as the reality that it is. Okay. There's no sugarcoating things here. It's the honest truth. Better build that thick skin if you want to come into the market. So if there are no questions, then from me to you, that's all I had. And yeah, from this, you can just see how you can deduce whatever you want to find out. I did all the work for you. So now you have to think. Use your copies, me brah. So where are we going? Are we going up or are we going down? When we get here, figure that out. That's your money. You'll pay me with it. See you guys on the next session. Shout out. Haha.